Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Pixelmon Let's Go server. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. I know I've been gone for a couple of weeks. I've been dealing with some stuff, and to be honest, I don't really want to talk about it. But yeah, I'm back now. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to go into it beyond that. Because this is supposed to be a place for happy thoughts and good times, and I don't want to dump my emotional baggage on y'all. But anyway, I am back now, and a couple things have happened in the last couple of weeks. We actually have a new player on the server. His name is Gingy, or the real, the true Ginger Shadow, something along those lines. Anyway, there's a link to him in the description. We have a doubles tournament coming up in a couple of days. So it's going to be teams, where each team member will bring 3 Pokemon, and for a total of 6, and we'll have a doubles tournament. And Gingy is actually my partner for the doubles tournament that we're going to have in a couple days. So I just got done talking with him about our team, and we have everything all planned out, and I think it's going to be fun. We have a team that I think is going to be very interesting. We've definitely identified some weaknesses with it, but at the same time, I think it's going to be a very fun team, and I'm looking forward to that. Also, Nebris has started a draft league on the server as well. So basically the way that works is there's a total of 9 of us who are going to be playing in the draft league, and we did the draft itself a couple days ago. We all took turns drafting Pokemon, and through 10 rounds of drafts. So we each got 10 Pokemon. There were a total of 90 Pokemon picked, and once something, it's a draft, so once something was picked, nobody else could pick that Pokemon. And that was super fun, and I've got a team, I've got that all done, and I'm actually going to do, the vast majority of this episode is going to be a recap of that draft. I'm not going to show the actual draft itself, because we weren't even all actually on the server. Like, we were just in a big Discord call and picking things, and the whole thing took like an hour and a half, something like that. So I'm not going to show that whole thing, but I will give you a full recap of the draft. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into that. So, for the draft league, we did 10 rounds of picks. So we all basically got to pick 10 Pokemon, and the order was random. And then basically you would alternate based on where you pick. So like by random selection, I was the second to last person picking out of the 9 of us. Which means then the second round, I picked second instead of second to last. And then third round, I was second to last again. Fourth round, I was picking second again, and so on and so forth. Basically, it kind of snaked. And that way, you weren't always picking, you got, basically it means that as we kind of progressed through the draft, I got essentially 2 picks in fairly close succession. A couple times, which was good in a way. I do wish I'd been a little bit early in the draft order, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with the way that our draft turned out. And I'm going to cover the whole draft, what everybody picked. I'm going to show you what everybody picked and what everybody got in every round. I'm not going to talk about every single pick at length, but I am going to talk about my picks and all that kind of stuff. And this is going to take a little while. I do have it all prepared in a nice graphic and everything, so buckle up. Here we go. So Gingy picked first. And he picked Mega Alakazam, he picked Alakazam. And I should probably mention that the way that we did the rules is we didn't draft Megas and their non-Mega forms separately. So he drafted Alakazam, which means he has Alakazam and Mega Alakazam, and nobody else could pick Mega Alakazam. Which is actually important, because one of the things that I tried to do is draft very versatile Pokemon, and a lot of that includes, versatility is the ability to Mega Evolve and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Gingy picked Alakazam. Kaysen, and I should mention, Nebris was picking for Kaysen, but Kaysen got Charizard. Xylo got Scizor, or Scizor. Mario got Toxapex. Nebris got Magearna. Etho took Tapu Lele in the first round. Sten took Rotom, and we said basically that's all the Rotoms. So he gets Rotom Wash, which is the one shown on the screen, and the one that he will probably end up using because it's the best of the Rotom forms, probably. But he has all the Rotoms, so nobody else got any of the Rotom forms. And for my first pick, I wanted something that was versatile, that could Mega Evolve, that could be an offensive threat, that could set up hazards. I wanted just a really strong, versatile Pokemon that would fit on just about any type of team. So for my first pick, I drafted Garchomp, and I'm really happy that I did. I was watching one of Gingy's videos, and he was planning to pick Garchomp maybe in the first round, but he went Alakazam instead. But I know that Garchomp would not have lasted for long. So I picked Garchomp. I think it's a great Pokemon. It is very versatile. It fits on a huge variety of different teams. It can be a very powerful offensive threat. It can be a good hazard setter, setting up Stealth Rocks, good support Pokemon. It's just a really solid Pokemon. So I picked that first, and then Constantine took Venusaur as his first pick, which was kind of a surprise to me because Venusaur is not necessarily a Pokemon that I think would be first pick worthy, but hey, you know, I mean, if he wants to build a team around like Mega Venusaur, hey, you know, more power to him. I'm fine with it. So then we jump into round 2, and basically the pick order is reversed. So Constantine gets to pick first instead of last, and for his first pick, he picked Keldeo in round 2, which is a pretty solid mon. And then for my pick, I wanted something else that was a very strong offensive threat. And honestly, I really just wanted to pick my favorite Pokemon. So I picked Dragonite because I do love Dragonite. It is my favorite of all the Pokemon. And I'm like, you know what? Let's pick up Dragonite now. It's just really solid. And, you know, that was my second round pick. So then Sten took Mawile, Etho took Landorus, Nebris took Tapu Koko, Mario took Volcarona, Xylo took Gliscor, Kaysen got Azu, and Gingy took Tornadus. So that's round 2. Jumping into round 3, Gingy started off with Greninja, which is a very solid pick. Kaysen took Ferrothorn, which is unfortunate because I really wanted Ferrothorn. He was probably going to be my next pick. I definitely wanted something that was a pretty strong defensive wall. And Ferrothorn was going to be top of the list for me. It just synergizes really well with a lot of different teams, and it's just a really solid Pokemon. But Ferrothorn picked it up, so I'm like, all right, no problem. I guess I'll pick up Chansey. And then Xylo picked Chansey with his very next pick. And I was like, oh, man. Okay, well, fine. So Chansey got picked up nice and early. Ferrothorn got picked up pretty early as well. Not surprised by that, but I wouldn't have minded picking those up. Probably should have picked that one of those two instead of Dragonite, but hey, it is what it is. Mario picked up Pinsir, so he'll have Mega Pinsir on his team. Nebris picked Latios, which is going to be pretty scary to deal with, since that includes the Mega Evolution, so that's going to be fun. Etho picked Mew, which is a very solid Pokemon. Sten took Kyurem, and then for my third pick, I was like, you know what? Ferrothorn's gone, Chansey's gone. I decided to go Gyarados. So another strong offensive threat, good water type. And you'll notice if you look at my team so far, I already have 2 potential Mega Evolutions. And Gyarados is also a very versatile Pokemon. It can be very good in its Mega Evolve form, or it can be very good in its non-Mega Evolve form. With Intimidate and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go Gyarados. And we picked that up. So I've got a good, strong water type Pokemon now. And I'm kind of building towards like a bulkier offensive team. Constantine then took Kartana because we are playing OU, the Smogon OU rules. So Pokemon that are normally banned in our tournaments on the server are not necessarily banned here. Same goes for like Kyurem, Mew, Latios, etc. Those are going to be allowed because they are allowed under Smogon rules, and those are the rules that we're playing by. Now, bear in mind that I picked pretty early here. Like I get another pick very, very soon. So I picked Gyarados, but I already kind of knew what my next pick was going to be. Constantine gets to pick again. He actually took Camerupt, which is another very interesting choice, I think. Not necessarily a Pokemon that you see a lot of in OU. And for my next Pokemon, I'm like, all right, we've got our physical heavy hitters on the team. We've got Garchomp, we've got Dragonite, we've got Gyarados. That is 3 very strong physical attacking Pokemon. I'm like, I need a defensive Pokemon. I need something that can provide a lot of support for the team. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to go Skarmory. Skarmory is just a solid choice. It's a great defensive wall. It can defog. It can hazard set. It can actually hit fairly hard with Brave Bird. It's just a really solid Pokemon as well. Just very versatile. And again, that's going to be kind of the running theme on all of my picks, is that they're versatile. There's a lot of different potential ways that I could team build using these 10 Pokemon that I end up with. So I picked Skarmory here in the 4th round. Sten takes Jirachi, Etho took Tapu Bulu, Nebris took Heatran, Mario took Como-O, which is kind of a cool Pokemon. It's the Gen 7 pseudo-legendary. Xylo took Victini, and Kaysen took Tyranitar, which honestly, I was really gonna consider taking Tyranitar as my next pick. But in retrospect, it's probably better that I didn't. I already have Stealth Rockers. I already have heavy-hitting physical attackers. I probably didn't need another one. But I had been considering at the time. But Kaysen got T-Tar, which is a great Pokemon. Just super solid on any team. Gingy then took Hoopa as his 4th round pick. So kind of a cool one there. Then we move into round 5. Gingy gets to pick again right away. And he takes Lucario, which is also a Pokemon that you don't really see a whole lot of in OU. Mega Lucario is banned in OU because it's too strong, but regular Lucario you don't see a whole lot of, so it'll be cool to see that. Kaysen took Reuniclus, which actually made me sad because that was another one that I was wanting to pick up. Looking at my team, I need special attacking Pokemon. I've already got this kind of bulky offense thing going with Pokemon that are kind of hard to kill but can hit back pretty hard. And Reuniclus was going to be a really good fit for my team, especially since I already have them like ready to go, bred, egg moves, everything. So I was actually considering taking Reuniclus as my next pick. And that one, you know, Kaysen picked it up. So that's fine. It is what it is. Xylo then took Crawdaunt, which is a good physical attacker. Mario took Infernape, which is also a good physical attacker. And then Nebris. Nebris, like, he was like reading my mind. I was like, all right, Reuniclus is gone. I need more kind of bulky Pokemon. Tangrowth was going to be what I was considering taking after Kaysen took Reuniclus, but no, Nebris picked up Tangrowth. So, okay, that's fine. Etho picked Lopunny. Sten takes Swampert. And me, I'm like, all right, I need special attackers on my team. I need something that can hit really hard on the special attacking side. So I picked up Hydreigon. And I'm kind of like, all right, well, I have enough dragons on my team now, but it's a good special attacker. And keep in mind, you know, we're going to have 10 Pokemon. I don't have to, you can't build a team of 10 Pokemon. You have to build a team of 6. So I probably wouldn't be bringing Garchomp, Dragonite, and Hydreigon all to the same team. I'd probably have, you know, maybe 2 of them at the most on any given team. But there we go, picked up Hydreigon. It's a good special attacker. It can also learn Defog as well, so it has some versatility there. There's a lot of different sets it can run. You can teach it, you know, you can give it a Scarf, you can teach it Devastate, you can give it a Z-Crystal, any number of different things. And then Constantine, for his pick in round 5, picked up Aggron. So, another Pokemon there. He's now got 3 Pokemon that are capable of Mega Evolution. He's got Venusaur, Camerupt, and Aggron, which can all be Megas. I have 2 between Garchomp and Gyarados at the moment. So then we move into round 6, and Constantine picked up Moltres, which is a pretty solid, you know, another one of those legendaries that we're not really going to see a whole lot of on the server unless we're playing under Smogon rules or unless we change our server rules. And then for me, I'm like, okay, what do I want to pick up here? And I was kind of drawing a blank. I'm like, I need knockoff. I need something that can absorb toxic spikes. I'm like, you know what? Let's go Alolan Muck. We'll pick up Alolan Muck. That's a fun Pokemon. It's one that I haven't really used a lot of. And it's going to be one that I actually do have ready to go and bred up. So I'm pretty excited about that one. That one's going to be fun to play with. Sten took Mamoswine. Etho took Amoonguss. Nebris grabbed Metacham for its Mega. Mario picked Slocking, because of course he did. Xylo picked Haxorus. Kaysen got Comfey, which is like the Hawaiian lay. It's a fairy. I think it's a grass fairy. It's either fairy or grass fairy, one or the other. But it's actually a pretty solid Pokemon. One that a lot of people kind of overlook. That's actually pretty solid. It can do some cool things. And then Gingy picked Aerodactyl as another pretty solid Pokemon as well. So then moving into round 7, Gingy picked up Donphan. Good rapid spinner. Good bulky Pokemon that can hit pretty hard. It can learn some priority moves. Just some pretty solid Pokemon overall. Kaysen picked up Snorlax. Xylo got Chandelure. Mario got the classic rapid spinner Starmie. One of the few Pokemon that has been OU all the way back since Generation 1 when it was introduced. Just a really cool and classic Pokemon right there. Nebris picked up Manaphy, which is going to be a huge threat to deal with. Tail Glow and special attacking. Yeah, it's going to be rough. And then Etho picked up Quagsire. Sten picked up Latias. Not Latios, but Latias. And I was like, all right, I need special attackers. I'm looking at my team. I got Garchomp, I got Dragonite, I got Gyarados, and I got Alolan Muck. All 4 of those goobers are physical attackers. I have 1 special attacker, and that's Hydreigon. And I suppose technically Skarmory is a physical attacker too, but Skarmory really isn't I don't usually play Skarmory as an attacker. I play it as a support / defensive Pokemon. So I'm like, all right, I need a special attacker that is bulky, that can absorb hits, that can wall stuff. Why don't we go ahead and pick up Slowbro? Slowbro's a good one. It can also Mega Evolve if I want it to, so that's now my 3rd potential Mega Evolution on this team. It gets Regenerator. It is a special attacker, and I think it'll work out pretty well for us. Constantine then picked up Uxie, which is a fun one that we don't see a whole lot of as well. And then moving into round 8, he gets to pick again, so he picked Volcanion. That should be cool. Although I don't think he actually has a Volcanion. I think he's hoping that he catches one within the next week before the battles actually start. So that should be fun. That should be interesting. See if he can catch the Volcanion in time. So as for my pick, I'm like, all right. We now have 2 special attackers. I need more than that, but I also need a special wall. I've got Skarmory to wall stuff on the physical side. Muck can take some hits. Slowbro can take some hits, but I need a special wall. And I was like, you know what? I got Skarmory. Let's just create one of the most well-known classic defensive cores in competitive Pokemon, and let's go ahead and pick up Blissey for that Skarm Bliss defensive combo for dealing with just about anything our opponents can throw at us. And Blissey can also learn Stealth Rock as well. It should be a good Pokemon. Chansey was already taken, otherwise I would have taken Chansey. But I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and pick up Blissey. Let's do it. And then Sten picked up Alolan Marowak. Etho took Salamence. Nebris took Zapdos. Mario took Golisopod. Xylo took Manectric, which was one that I was actually considering, but that's okay. Kaysen took Excadrill, and Gingy took Arcanine. So far some pretty good teams and some pretty good Pokemon. Then we get into round 9, and Gingy gets to pick again. He took Magnezone, which was another Pokemon that I had been considering. I'm like, I still need special attackers. From here on out, I need special attackers and nothing but special attackers. I would love to have a hard-hitting electric type. Magnezone was on the list, Manectric were on the list, but those both disappeared after I picked Blissey, so that's okay, it's fine. I was like, we got some other options as well. So then after Magnezone, Kaysen picked up Heracross, Xylo picked up Galvantula, Mario took Chestnut, which I think he's actually hoping I will breed for him. I don't think I'm going to be able to have that one ready in time for the tournament. I'm already breeding him in Infernape. But anyway, Nebris then picked up Hawlucha, which I'm kind of surprised Hawlucha hadn't already been picked, but it is what it is. Etho took Thundurus. Sten took Pelipper, which is great for him because remember he took Swampert earlier, so he's got some Rain Team potential going on there. And then for my pick, I'm like, all right, we need special attackers. We need hard-hitting special attackers. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and pick up Gengar. Gengar is not as good as it once was. Starting in Gen 7, it lost. They replaced its ability Levitate with Cursed Body, which is just not nearly as good as Levitate. Levitate was what really made it like an A+ Pokemon in prior generations. But it's still really good. It still hits really hard. It still has a great speed tier. Like, it's still a really good Pokemon. It's just not as good as it used to be. But I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and pick up Gengar for some special attacking power. Now, I'm not going to be able to use its Mega Evolution. Its Mega Evolution is banned in OU. But I will still be able to use just regular Gengar. I'm like, you know what? That's fine with me. So then, Constantine picked up Bisharp. He got to pick again, so then he picked up Clefable. And for my last pick, I'm like, all right, one more special attacker, and we'll have a pretty balanced set of Pokemon to pick from as far as physical and special. Right now, I've got 4 Pokemon that I would consider to be physical attackers and 3 Pokemon that I would consider to be special attackers, and then 2 defensive Pokemon in Skarmory and Blissey. So I'm like, all right, I could use an electric type, I could use a fire type, or I could use a fairy type. I was like, as far as electrics go, pretty much all the good electrics are taken. I thought about maybe picking up like a Alolan Raichu, or Raichu, but I'm like, that's pretty iffy. Fire types, again, pretty iffy. Heatran's gone, Charizard is gone. I don't really need another physical attacker. I don't need a physical attacking fire type. I would need a special attacking one. I'm like, all right, so let's look at fairies. You know what? Why don't we go ahead and pick up a fairy type that can be bulky. It can be a special wall. It can mega evolve. Let's go ahead and pick up Gardevoir as our last pick. So solid. I've got 4 potential Pokemon that can mega evolve. We will talk more about the team, about my picks as a whole. Let's finish out the rest of the picks. Sten took Mimikyu, which is a great Pokemon, but and he is aware of this, by the way. Its ability is not actually coded into Pixelmon yet, so it essentially has no ability, and its ability is what makes it really good. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that pick, but then again, we're in round 10, like, at this point, whatever. Who knows? Maybe he'll get lucky and Pixelmon will update, giving it its ability between now and the time we start battling, but somehow I doubt it. Anyway, he picked up Mimikyu. Etho took Diancie. Nebris took Celesteela. Mario took Florges, or Florges, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Xylo took Dugong. Kaysen took Zoroark. And Gingy as the final Pokemon to be picked in round 10 in the first draft league, Shuckle. Because why not, right? Like, you gotta do something along those lines. So, those are all the picks. As for my team, I have 4 Pokemon that are good special attackers. I have Gardevoir, I've got Gengar, I've got Hydreigon, and I've got Slowbro, which is not necessarily a great special attacker, But if you give it Calm Mind, give it the ability to boost a little bit, it is a special attacker more than it's a physical attacker, for sure. And it's just a good bulky Pokemon. So 4 special attackers: Hydreigon, Slowbro, Gengar, and Gardevoir. Physical attackers, 4 of those: Alolan Muck, Gyarados, Dragonite, and Garchomp. And then 2 pretty much purely defensive utility Pokemon with Skarmory and Blissey, who together form probably the most classic defensive, like the most iconic defensive core in all of competitive Pokemon history. Like Skarm Bliss just dominated entire generations of metagames I think for a couple generations, actually. The 2 of those paired together is just so good, and it's still very, very good. As far as versatility goes, I've got lots of options on the Mega Evolution side. Mega Garchomp, Mega Gyarados, Mega Gardevoir, Mega Slowbro. Maybe I'll end up using Mega Slowbro at some point, but probably not. Gardevoir, Gyarados, and Garchomp, though. Yeah, there's some good power and some good potential there, for sure. I've got a bunch of different potential hazard setters. Skarmory can lay hazards. Blissey can lay hazards. Garchomp can lay hazards. I've got a bunch of potential hazard removers. Skarmory. Actually, I think all 5? No. Dragonite can learn Defog. Skarmory can learn Defog. Hydreigon can learn Defog. And I think Gengar maybe can learn Defog. Realistically, it's probably going on Skarmory. Let's just be honest. Skarmory's probably going to be my Defogger. But I've got just a lot of options. Lots of utility, lots of potential ways that you could throw 6 of these Pokemon together and beat different things. I've got answers to a lot of different threats. The only stuff that I wish I'd gotten that I didn't get were a good electric type and a good fire type. But other than that, honestly, I'm really happy with the way our draft turned out. I think our team is very, very solid. I think overall it's probably one of the better teams out of everyone who picked everything. Just a lot of versatility, which is what I wanted to go for. I think when you're drafting in something like this, I think you're better off, rather than trying to team build something specific or trying to look for Pokemon that have a lot of synergy together. I think generally you're better off, obviously still paying attention to that, but looking more for Pokemon that are just generally good and are just very versatile and can fit a lot of different roles, because I think all of us had Pokemon that we would have liked to have drafted, but that got picked by someone else. And when you draft very versatile stuff that works on a lot of different types of teams, you can basically get, you can put stuff together much better overall, I think. All right, so there we go. That was the draft recap. I think I am very happy with the draft and how it turned out. I like my team options. I do need to start training up some of those things. I want to have multiple variations of the different Pokemon on my draft team, if you will, so I can, run a few different sets and all that kind of good stuff. And I'm also prepping for this doubles tournament as well and breeding some things. We've gotten a couple of orders in at our Perfect Pokemon shop, actually. I'm working on breeding up Chimchars right now, and for Mario, who wants a Chimchar that knows Blaze Kick, because for whatever reason, in Pixelmon, Chimchar can't get the one move. Flare Blitz? Flare Blitz, right? Yeah, Flare Blitz. For some reason, Chimchar / Infernape cannot get Flare Blitz in Pixelmon. It can in the regular Pokemon games, but not in Pixelmon. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. So I'm working on breeding up Infernapes or Chimchars, however you want to look at it, that know Blaze Kick instead, which is a physical fire type move. So I'm breeding I trained up a Blaziken to breed, and I'm working on that as well. But anyway, guys, that draft recap took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to take probably like 15 minutes to go through it all, and it actually took more than that. So I am unfortunately out of time for this episode. But I am glad to be back. I'm looking forward to the tournament. I'm looking forward to some draft battles. The way that we've decided to do the draft league is from the time of the draft, which happened, I believe, on Saturday? It was either Friday or Saturday. From the time of the draft itself, we have 1 week to prepare things, and then we will jump into doing actual battles with the other people involved in the draft. So that should be good. But as I said, guys, I'm out of time for this one. So my friends, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.